clap for yourself.
Yep.
Literally, pat your own self on the back. Like,
Hey,
for now,
clap it with your hands. You clap it with
your
your
feet.
feet. Yeah, your feet, friend.
I said my feet.
No, I was talking about you.
I know. And I said feet. And I was like, oh, well, maybe not. Hey guys, it's MJ
And Tay.
We're back with the Beauty of Balance podcast. We are super excited. This is our second episode. Ooh, 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 ooh.
So proud of us.
Yes, we are.
But we also want to just say thank you so much to all of our subscribers.
Yes, you guys
we got
are
some
amazing.
love. Yeah.
It definitely was very dope to see because obviously, in our minds, we're like, oh my gosh, we hope it does well. We're excited to share this with you guys, but you guys definitely show love. You definitely support it. And we really, truly appreciate you guys so much.
All the shares, likes, comments, all of it. I'm like, okay, like you guys actually want to hear what we have to say. Obviously we like what we have to say, but it's cool to hear feedback from our community and everyone's like, yeah, we love it. So thank you so much. The more love we get, the more things we're going to do together. So just keep on liking, commenting, and subscribing.
Yes, that's why we're back at you because we're like, okay, so now we have more to talk about and to add, and we definitely are going to be asking you guys for feedback as well too on the next podcast, like when we decide to bring other people on and have other episodes about different topics. We want to know, like, what do you guys want to hear about? So we're going to be asking you that.
Definitely make sure you're following us on Instagram too, because in our stories we'll ask a lot like, hey, we're filming this day, so what questions do you have for us? Just so we can answer those. Think of things that maybe we don't think that you want to know, but you guys might want to know.
And definitely we'll shout you out too. Appreciate you guys.
With episode number 2, we're going to be talking a lot about like self-care, how someone navigates through self-care, support within the community, degrees, all of the nitty gritty.
The pressure to be that girl. It's pressure. You know what I'm saying? But pressure busts, what is it? Makes diamonds.
It makes
diamonds.
So,
and I feel like, definitely diamond in the rough for sure. But I feel like we definitely have blossomed. I feel like into diamonds. Yes.
So,
well, let's see. All right. So first we're going to start. Can I get it together?
Girl, we going to get it together.
Can we get it together? All right. So first we're going to talk about pouring into your cup. So we're going to talk about what it is for us because obviously, being that we are business owners and we're super busy and just a lot going on, want to share some things with you guys as far as like, what are we doing? Like, we're not going to just talk about this. What actually actions?
What are we actually doing?
What are we doing? What do we plan for this week? Just like we plan everything else in our lives, what do we plan for in reference to self-care? So say, what did you plan for your self-care day?
I feel like obviously self-care is more, and this kind of what we were writing about is just, it's more than just, your candles, your eating good food. Like, yes, those are all great self-care. Like, the way to my heart is through my tummy.
Yes.
But a little deeper than that. So
for sure,
when I'm doing well, because we're human and we fall off track, and 1 week may be really great and the next week not so much, but when I'm really trying to pour into myself, what that looks like is waking up earlier before anyone in my house and writing in my journal, praying, and not just praying to ask for something, but just letting God know that, hey, I see all the blessings that you are putting in my life. That's maybe why I haven't been able to take care of myself, but thank you for that. And hanging out with my girlfriends, like I hang out with my family every day, and that's something that is great. But being able to talk to my girls and like vent to them, that helps me out a lot. And moving my body, I haven't been doing it in a while, and I feel like that could be one of the many things that I don't feel it, like, because I'm not moving my body. And I haven't been to Jade in so long, but Jade is one of the best personal trainers that I've had. And when I was on 10 with her, like, I felt great. I felt like I had my shit together, even if I really didn't,
She don't play.
She don't play.
plays. Shout out to Jade. She plays no games, honey. If
Girl.
you're looking for a personal trainer and you were in Tucson, Arizona, I definitely would highly, highly, highly recommend her. Yeah, I ended up taking her class towards the end of like my workout journey. You know what I'm saying? When I was just like, okay, now I can start working out on my own, and I don't feel like I needed a personal trainer. She was one of the ones that I was still utilizing until I got like there.
Comfortable, to do it on your own.
I went for a few of them, and I actually liked. I had 3 personal trainers, and I loved all of them.
All of them, yeah.
So Jaime, he was great, and Becca, she was amazing. So yeah, definitely, I love that. But I self-care definitely stems from.
You need that.
Yeah, we need that,
especially in the beauty industry. Like we're most of the time slouched over. If you're doing nails, if you're doing lashes, even if you're a hairstylist, like you're standing, blow drying hair, like lashes, you're like this. So you need to kind of use your body in a good way where you can continue to do lashes.
Yes.
Because if I'm not moving my body and using it the way it should be used, I'm not going to be able to do lashes until I'm 50, 60 years old. And I would like to still be able to if I want to, not have to do that. But
no, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, longevity in your career definitely matters. I tell my students that all the time in the school. Like, first of all, being ergonomically correct, meaning holding things properly, sitting properly, you know what I'm saying, drinking plenty of water, and, exercise is definitely necessary. So if you're not a gym girly, because it's not for everybody.
Absolutely.
In the beginning in my, journey to work out, I was definitely not that girl when it came to the gym. I was like, girl, nobody doing all this. It's a lot. But I ended up loving it once I got into it. But even if it's just walking the block, you know what I'm saying? If you're a runner, if you like to get on the treadmill, doing something where you're active, you know what I'm saying? Because your body, just like you said, it tenses up, and you're going to need to be able to release some of that. And if you don't, then things start happening to your body and you get weaker, and you're like you said, why can't I no longer do lashes? Why can't I do nails? You know what I'm saying? Why does it hurt? I know people that have given up after 2 or 3 years because they're hurting. They're hurting. Yeah. They're with arthritis and all that. So doesn't mean it's 100%, some people's bodies is just what it is, but it definitely helps a lot.
It
like is preventable.
The longevity.
Yeah. In some areas. So
what are some other things that you like to do or plan on doing next week?
Doing. So it probably is not next week just because I have so many things going on, but I am going to, because shout out to my girl, Cooking with Courtney. She reached out to me today because we ended up having a conversation, and she expressed to me, she was like, friend, when are you taking a vacation? Like, when's the next time you're going to actually like get out? Whether it's like for us, being in Arizona, we're right near Rocky Point. Yeah. She was like, it's a great place to be able to do a vacation real quick, in and out and right back. It's only, a few hours drive. I was like, you know what? I need to do that. Yeah. So I think, probably not this month, but the beginning or sometime maybe in July, I am going to like just something little, even if it's 3-4 days, a couple days, it doesn't matter. But just to like rub my feet in the sand, lay out on the beach, unplug for a little bit, because I feel like I'm plugged in
24/7.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. And I just need that. So yeah, that's what I definitely plan on doing. I wish it could be next week, but not that soon.
Hey, that's okay.
Yeah, not that soon.
I love that. Yeah, because a trip, a beach with a drink.
What?
Not have to worry about posting anything. Like, these are all blessings, but it can take a toll on you. Yes. And people start what is that? Where you start comparing yourself.
Yes.
Like, what is that called? Do you know what that's called?
I feel like I know what you're saying.
Yeah, but
it steals joy. I do know that it's the comparison that you make between you and other people, it steals your joy because you're constantly trying to live up to whatever it is that they're doing.
Imposter syndrome. Yes. So you always thinking like, I'm not good enough until I do this. Yes. I'm not good enough until I have this many followers or this many likes. Like, you're not living in the now. Yes. You're not celebrating those little moments. Like, I'm sure there was a time where you wanted to just celebrate your 100 followers, but then you're looking at your best friend that may have been in the game longer than you, or just have put herself in different rooms where she has 5,000 followers. So what? Now you're not gonna cheer for your own self. I think you need to unplug, especially as micro influencers, content creators. Like, if you're in the industry, we're all some sort of influencer. And I feel like if you don't take that time for yourself to be out of put your toes in the sand and just ground yourself, you're gonna live in misery. I mean, unfortunately,
that's
like,
true.
because
I feel like we're like pouring into each other right now. We're pouring into you guys, right? But we also, in order to continue the pouring, right, I gotta fill my cup up. You know what I'm saying? I have to be able to be like 100% as much as I can, you know, full, so that way it doesn't drain you so much. It's not so overwhelming and like to the point. And I think that's another reason why people don't stay in these career paths necessarily as long as they could, is because they do so much giving, pouring, and they're not refilling their own cup. Then they get to the point where they're like, you know what, I can't do this anymore. I don't even care. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Mentally just, you know, takes a toll on people.
And I feel like that's kind of where I was starting to go when I decided not to renew my lease, because it was just like, I felt like, and this was no one else's problem but my own. I'm just a people pleaser. Yeah. So I was trying to pour into so many other people that were in my salon that no one asked me to take a step back from my business, but I just did that. Yeah. So I'm like, how can I get everyone else busy, and how can I do this, and how can I do that? Where then it doesn't like benefit. Then once they leave, it's just like, I did all of that and it's for what, you know? No so benefit, then once my lease was up, I was like, bye. Like, I don't, you know, but now it's like, I feel like I have, even though I've been in the industry for so long, my business has been the best it has been now. And that's because I am pouring into myself, you know? That. And I feel like it shows. A lot of people say things like, oh my God, you're doing great. You're doing this, you're doing that. And it's like, because I'm focusing on me. Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with that. No. You know, you have to, if you're not right, how are you going to make other people right? You know? Yeah. And that's literally our job. So
it really is our job. Yeah.
So how do you show up on the hard days?
So I would say hard days showing up is mentally. So like almost what you were saying in the beginning, just mentally going in, you know, I feel like that's where my faith and spirituality comes in, you know, taking time away from everything and spending time with God and just like as much as I can possibly, not just praying, but actually like hearing from him, you know what I'm saying? Meditating and just really like thinking on, you know, what it is that God wants me to do. You know what I'm saying? Like the steps that I need to make in my life. Because guess what? I'm going to want to do what I want to do. You know, my flesh, you know what I'm saying? But I'm like, okay, God, is this what you have for me? Is this what you want from me? Is this what you want out of, you know what I'm saying, my daily activities and, you know, the people that I encounter on a daily basis? Like, you know, how am I dealing with them? Am I dealing with them in a godly way? You know what I'm saying? Things like that. So I feel like that mental space in itself. So when I move into like, you know, actually dealing with whatever I'm going to deal with, because it's going to happen.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I feel like because my mental is, you know, in a good space, I'm kind of like take a step back and I'm like, okay, you know, it is what it is. Okay, so is it something I can physically do about this situation? Is it not? Okay, it's not. Okay, so what do we do? You know what I'm saying? To maybe not have this happen again.
Absolutely.
My daughter mentioned to me the other day, I was laughing, you know, she's always messing with me about stuff. Yeah. She's always messing with me, but she actually said something and I was just like, you know what, this lets me know that our kids really do not only watch us, but look up to us. And you know what I'm saying? And it makes them be able to, it inspires them, you know what I'm saying, to do things in their lives. So she had mentioned, she was like, Mom, she said, one thing I can say about you is that I feel like no matter what happens, like when things are bad or when you're going through, she was like, you always have a positive attitude. Like I've never seen you don't like, you're not mad and screaming and yelling, you know what I'm saying? You always keep yourself positive. You're always still happy despite the things that are going on. She's like, I know you're going through it. Yeah. She's like, and I know the situation, and you'll tell me about stuff and you'll be like, dang. She's like, I'll be somewhere in a corner crying. I said, girl, be quiet. Are you with it? She's just like, Bob was just saying though, like, so that meant a lot. You know what I'm saying? To hear her say like, that.
People know, because it's hard. It's easy to just walk into a place and someone pissed you off. So I'm just going to take it out on everybody. Yes. But one thing that I always think of, like, is it going to matter in a year? Is it going to matter in 5 years? Like, do you have a bad life or is it just a bad moment? You know, and half the time it's literally just a moment that you kind of have to, it's not easy because I'm still going to talk some and I'm going to call. And that's the thing. Mad. Like, I'm still mad. You need your community so you can vent and get it out, but you can't be stuck in it.
No, that's the biggest thing. Like I say that all the time. One thing to live, you know, it's a moment.
Yeah.
So it
treat
could be
it as
bad.
a moment.
It
Yeah.
could be bad, but you carrying it can create other issues. It's like, okay,
Absolutely.
so deal with it in a moment, vent, whatever you feel like, however you handle it, you know what I'm saying? And also don't make decisions out of those moments, because I feel like that's also another thing. It's like, me living in the moment and me being upset and frustrated, and then I get it out and it's gone, and whatever.
You're like, oh.
Yeah, it's fine. It's really not that big of a deal. Or I could be living in it, and now I'm going to make a decision out of it, and it's regret, and it just snowballs, and it's like, that's not necessary.
No.
Yeah.
Not
so
at all. So you gotta,
I feel like we make it worse.
you gotta still just put on that face, and you
Yes.
don't want it to be fake or anything, but you just have to put on your poker face
Yeah.
and just, all right, I'll deal with it later.
Yeah.
But right now my clients are paying me good money, or your students are paying
Yeah.
you good money to give them this experience. And I don't want a moment in my life to ruin a whole experience for somebody else just because
Yes.
some road rage, you know? Yeah.
And it definitely, I feel like, means a lot when you like think deeper about whatever the situation is. It's like, but overall, yes, this situation I'm not happy about, but in general, I'm happy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I love what I do. I love teaching. I love doing nails. I love the nail industry.
Yeah.
So it's like that I have to think about, so that way I can leave everything else outside. Yeah.
Yep. So, how I was saying, we have a good community. I have that community brings support. So, support isn't always loud.
No.
Who really shows up for you? What are you thinking? Who do you think, like, do you have that good support system that you can be real, your real self? And did it take a long time to find, or how was your experience with your support system?
I feel like my support has definitely come from friends. Now I have grown to call them family, you know what I'm saying? More so than my actual, family and blood. It's just been a thing, well, one, because I'm not from here, you know what I'm saying, being that I'm from St. Louis, and I'm living in Tucson, and I've been here 15 years. I had to create my own community, my own circle of people, and it wasn't easy at first, you know what I'm saying. I feel like at first, because you're trying to fill people out,
Absolutely,
you're trying to see, are we even as far as our mentality, you know what I'm saying? And obviously you want to be around people that are also flourishing, you know what I'm saying, and growing, and seeing the positive out of things and things like that. So I feel like it took a little bit to get, but I definitely feel like I have, I would say, find my people. I have a great support system, you know what I'm saying. I'm sitting next to one of my biggest supporters, you know what I'm saying, just same with her. So I feel like, I know that in the beginning of just building business in general, I feel like that really wasn't my focus at first, was
because it's gonna come.
Yes, it's gonna come, and I let it happen naturally. It wasn't like I was searching out here looking for, you know what I'm saying, things like that. I think that's different than almost like a mentor. I feel like you kind of search for those type of things, but I feel like with genuine support,
and that's
love,
genuine.
you know what I'm saying, I feel like that is something that just naturally happens.
Because you're gonna get in this industry, I feel like you're gonna get the real love and the fake love.
Yes,
and it's there in the beginning. It might be hard to differentiate. Like who is real and who is fake. And even for me, I've worked at different salons, and I've had my salon and everything, and I think the biggest thing is, once you leave that establishment, if you're not still getting the same love, it was okay, it was more because I was in that building at that space at that point of time. Because to me, even girls who worked in my salon and then opened their own salons, I'm still cheering for them. I'm still reposting, tagging, or commenting, because I truly am happy for people who flourish even after me. So in the industry, you will find
some people that
some
are
fake
not,
and some, but you learn from every experience. And I feel like you find there's almost compartments. Certain people go in their certain compartments, and there's nothing wrong with that person. You just know that you can only do so much with that person and give so much to that person.
Some people are part of a season, and some people are there for a reason.
Absolutely.
So you just have to decipher which one, you know what I'm saying? Like you said, which category does this person fit in, and don't try to force it if it doesn't fit in a certain, you know what I'm saying, way. I feel like, there's people that, regardless of whether they support you or not, right? Even with followers, right, on social media and things like that. I feel like sometimes we get so caught up in like, oh, how many people did this or commented or liked or shared or whatever, which is great. Of course, we want that, and that's necessary for our businesses and things like that. But at the same time, it doesn't take away from how real we are passionate about our business.
Absolutely.
Like whether we get 2 people or 3 people or 3,000 or whatever it is,
we're gonna keep doing it.
It's gonna keep doing it. And I feel like that part of it, as long as we are continuously showing that we're dedicated to what it is we want to do, and reaching the people that we want to reach, I feel like that should be the focus more so than anything else. Than trying to be overwhelmed by the people that don't support. Yeah.
There's always going to be somebody talking.
There's always going to be somebody. It's just a part of it, and I feel like the bigger you are, meaning the more popular or the more, following or whatever it is, just know you're going to have just as many, haters. Like, it's just a part of it. That's both as a requirement, so.
Yeah. And with your family, like, do you still feel, because I have a small family. I feel like you have a smaller family. To me, support with even your family. Like, it's not as much, and no one get mad at me, but
that's what you would like it to be.
It's, and just like even paying. Like, obviously, I will do services for my family for free, but support is if you're buying Kim K's stuff, you don't even know her. Yeah. Why wouldn't you want to show support to your family in that way where you're not, and that's for friends too. Yeah. Not asking for discounts and this and that, because it's like, you are the family. So if I could, I would want to give you free whatever all the time. Yeah. But if you want your person to grow and you truly want that to support them, don't ask them for discounts.
Yes.
Don't do that.
Yeah. Because I feel like these corporate companies and things like that have, started from nothing, and now have grown. Like, they didn't get there by offering all these discounts, offering all these free things. And that's not fair. You know what I'm saying? I feel like as a business, like, we are not a nonprofit. We are a for-profit business, right? So that means we need to be able to make money in order for our businesses to grow. So I get that, we're family, but family does not take away from the fact that this is a real business. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like some people take that for granted. Not, They think like, oh, you're just like my friend, or you're my cousin, or like my loved one.
To do
it's nothing to just do whatever. Like, it is, because it's taking money out of my pocket. It's taking, money out of the products and things like that. My time, all these different things. And I could be spending this product and time on someone who actually wants to pay, so I feel like, I'm at this point, because we hear about it all the time. I don't feel this is like a new topic. We hear that, strangers will support you sometimes more than your own family. And I don't think it's a thing in my mind. I don't know this for a fact, because some people might have ill intentions. I don't feel like some of the family members that don't support are doing it like with ill intent. Like, oh, I just don't want to support her. Yeah. I feel like it's just more so like, oh, they look at you like
it's different.
Yeah, they're like, oh, you're just like my family. Yeah. Like, they don't look at you kind of almost like how we're saying. I think we talked about it one time. We were laughing about like how kids don't see like their parents is like, whoever.
Oh, she is exactly.
Like Beyonce kids ain't running around.
They
like,
don't. Oh, that's Beyonce. Girl,
that's my mom. That
is my mom.
That's my mom. So I feel like family is similar to that aspect. They're like, well, that's just Taylor and that's just Miranda. Like, no, so it's like okay,
why not? Yeah, no.
So I get that.
And I think too, like, the generations are different too, because I feel like our generation is the first generation to really, I don't want to work a 9 to 5. Like, I want to be rich, but I want to do it by myself. And back then they weren't doing that. It was, I need a steady, reliable income. Taking a risk, you're dumb, So I don't think it, like, even my mom, I don't really use like Facebook, but I use Instagram. So my mom just uses Facebook, and she mainly uses that for the marketplace. And so she doesn't see like all the things that I have going on, just because I'm focusing more on one like demographic, I guess. So
it is
it's just, we try and I at least try and remind myself, like, okay, give them some grace. Yeah. It's totally different. Like, I'm the first one in my family to have a business
Yeah.
on their own, you know? So this is all different.
It
I try and
is.
remind myself that, but yeah, it's
And guess what? Our family probably isn't our target audience, just to be
hey,
quite honest with
honestly,
you.
and that's okay.
Like my target audience is, you know, people that want to, you know, learn how to do nails and become a nail tech. And my family members ain't trying to do that.
They ain't trying to do
You know what
that.
I'm saying? And some of them don't even like how I'm a long baddie girl. Like, this is not for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Some people like, you know what I'm saying, different styles of nails. So, you know, look, if it works for you, you know what I'm saying, that's what it works for. So I feel like focusing on what your target audience is. And I'm like, my family love y'all. But
Love y'all.
y'all just not a part of my
You know,
target
yeah.
audience. That's just what it is.
And how do we stay focused when it feels like nobody is clapping for us?
Girl.
Because it does feel hard.
Yeah.
But as simple as it is, I feel like you just really can't give a flying F. Like,
Yeah.
you really can't. Like, if
You have to be delusional.
you
in order
have
do
to.
this.
And
you do.
I say this a lot, like, if it's a dream or something that is in your mind, even if it's not something that you're going to carry on throughout your whole life, like, it was placed in your brain for a reason. And I feel like if you just sleep on these things because you're worried about the next person, oh, there's so many lash artists, oh, there's so many nail artists. Like, if we just keep worrying about everything, like, if I was truly worried about what people think about us and what we're going to talk about, then we wouldn't even have a podcast. No. And me being Delulu, I was just talking to Miranda, like, what are we going to do for our 50th episode? What are we going to do for our
100th?
What are we doing? When are we going to go on a live tour? Like, I think these are the things that it feeds that little girl still inside. And it's fun. Like, because then once you do it, you're like, hell yeah, I did that. And it wasn't that bad. So,
like, right now, we were more nervous to start this second episode than the first episode. Now, how is that possible?
We already did it.
But it's just because, like, you know, that feeling of like, oh my gosh, we're really doing this. You know what I'm saying?
Really doing it.
No, despite what people say, do, think, you know what I'm saying? It's just, like you said, it's that vision of like, okay, seeing the forest through the trees.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Like I can see the end results without me having to see it physically.
Yeah.
Like I mentally can like think about it and like visualize it, write it down. You know what I'm saying? Very, very important. If you are someone who's trying to achieve goals, please write it down. Write it down, because I feel like that's the only way you're going to really see it come to fruition is
Absolutely.
like writing it out, making it plain. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's in a prayer to God, whether it's like I'm just writing down my goals because this is something that I'm looking to achieve, it has to be written down. So I think that in itself, and then being okay with the slow growth. Because a lot of people, and I feel like we're in the day and age of popcorn.
Yeah. Instant gratification.
Instant, like right now, I want 100 million followers right now. I want $100 million in my account.
Me too.
I want, you know what I'm saying? All of these things I want right now. And guess what? That's okay. And that's okay to want those things, but understand that there's growth behind all of that. It takes sometimes years to get to a certain point. Be okay with that. You know what I'm saying? Because you need to learn some things within that time period that's going to help you get to where you want to be.
Absolutely.
But you're not going to get there overnight, you know, anything that happens fast money also leaves just as quick. So I feel like just be patient with the process. And I think that a lot of people don't want that, which I understand. I get it.
Yeah.
It's not for everybody.
No, but just stay in your lane, have that tunnel vision. And if nobody else is clapping for you, just
keep it moving. Just
clap for yourself. Yeah.
Literally. Pat your own self on the back. Like,
hey,
for now.
You clap it with your hands. You clap it with your feet.
Hey.
Yeah, your feet, friend.
I just said my feet. No, I was talking about I know. And I said feet, and I was like, oh, well, maybe not. For instance,
I can't stand that
with the booty cheeks.
Sorry.
Okay. All right, we're going to keep it.
I love it.
But,
yeah, so just honestly, who cares? Who cares? Who's supporting you or not?
I'm going to be laughing about that all day. Sorry.
Who cares if it just be Delulu, girl.
Be Delulu.
Or boy, whoever's watching.
Whoever.
Be Delulu.
Because that delusion is going to turn into something big. I promise it does. Like,
don't let the Delulu though make you not want to listen to actual good advice and stuff. Yeah,
and like be realistic.
That's
what any goal. Set realistic goals, right? You know what I'm saying? You don't want to set goals that's like, okay, this is like almost unattainable. Yeah. And I'm just gonna just throw something out there. Like, no, be realistic about it. You know what I'm saying? Now, it doesn't mean it's gonna be easy because it's realistic. It just means it again may take a little bit longer. You know what I'm saying? But through that process, you can be like, you know what? You're gonna pick up just because you. Okay, so think about it like this. I told people that go into the nail industry, right? You know what I'm saying? They're like scared about building clientele, scared about getting clients. And I'm like, look, if you like it, whatever it is, right? I like long batty nails.
Yeah.
There's someone else that likes it too.
Absolutely.
You're not going to be
Stop
the only
trying
person.
to fit into every box.
Yes.
Like,
and you don't need millions of people. Yeah, you want all of that on followers, whatever, that's cool. But in reference to clientele, you only need 20 to 30 people.
Absolutely.
One person needs that.
Yeah.
Like, that's not a lot of people.
Yeah.
That's really not. So I feel like, you know, those are going to be your support. That's who you really want. You want them to support you with their bank account. Okay?
Yeah.
That's the clapping that you really, really want.
Because, like, social media is cool, but until I'm getting the money from social media, I'm not going to be worried about how many followers I have. I don't have a lot of followers on Instagram. Yeah, but I have
bank money.
I got a lot of clients. So, yeah. Thank you.
So that makes a huge, huge, huge difference. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I definitely feel like the clapping is great and we want it, you know what I'm saying, but not to stay focused on it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
And I feel like this is a big topic. I just recently did a, what is it called? Like a career fair out of middle school. Because, you know, not everybody wants to go to college or has, you know, the resources to go to college. And back in the day there was a stigma on if you went to college or not. If you went to college and got a degree, you're going to be something. And if you don't, you won't be anything. So I was asked to go because not obviously, but I didn't go. I went to Pima for like a little bit and school is just never my thing. Like studying and all that, like I said in the previous episode, like I'm the talker. I want to connect with people. Yeah. I don't want to talk about the history. I don't want to do a math equation. Like I don't want to learn those things. I wanted to socialize and just hang out with people. So when I went to Pima, I wanted to go to be like a therapist because I do want to help people. But school wasn't for me. So when I got into beauty, I'm like, oh, I can be a therapist, still make great money, but just not a licensed doctor therapist, you know? And so I was asked to go because I don't have a degree and I've been able to sustain this lifestyle and everything and scale higher just doing lashes. So is a degree important? Let's get into it.
Is it important? So I would say it depends on what you're doing. Yeah. What field are you going into? The field that you're in, does it require you, you know what I'm saying, to have it? I feel like the fields that we're in doesn't require it. Yeah. It's great if you have it, you know what I'm saying? Like mentioned in the last podcast, I do have a degree, you know what I'm saying? I have a business degree with an emphasis in human resource management. Wonderful. It was, you know, my experience was great. Went 4.5 years, you know what I'm saying? All of that. But at the same time, as of right now, my current, like what I do with the school and the salon and all of that, I wouldn't say that it didn't help. It did help, but it was more of a benefit when I was in corporate America. You know what I'm saying? It helped me to be able to get into certain positions and job opportunities because they required a degree in order to be involved in them. But in reference to running the business, you know what I'm saying? It's cool. Like there's certain things like I've taken from it, I remembered or I learned. But I definitely feel like the experience has taught me way, 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 way more than that business degree ever could have. Yeah,
absolutely. Because the same thing like beauty school, even middle school, high school, what do we always complain about? They didn't teach us the things that we need. We didn't learn how to do our taxes. We didn't learn how to invest. Nothing. And I feel like those things are important. I feel like with college, and I haven't been, so don't, you know, take it with a grain of salt. But to me, it's just like, you're not going to get those real life experiences and really understand until you're in it. Yeah. All of these experiences that I have been in have been because of this, and the life lessons I've learned, it's just me fumbling, you know, me doing this when I should have done this or whatever the case may be. So I don't want people to get discouraged. Like, you can still be a Miranda, you can still be a me, like, without having to go to college.
Yep.
But if you can go to college, like, I feel like, you know, if that's something you're interested in and school is for you and you're actually interested in it, nothing bad is going to happen from you getting more education.
No,
you know?
absolutely not. It's definitely a thing of, like, if that's what you want to do,
Absolutely.
it's definitely not to deter or take it away from anybody. If they're like, I want to pursue this degree, you know what I'm saying? But again, with anything, as long as there's intent and purpose behind it.
Absolutely.
You don't want to just get it just to say you have a degree, because that's wasting your time when you could be, you know, pouring it into something else that you really want, you know, out of this, you know, whatever industry that you're in, you know what I'm saying? So I just feel like, you know, just make it worth your while, whatever you do, because that's a long time to be in school, you know, to not
use it.
Yeah, you definitely want to use it, and it's expensive. College is way more expensive now than when I graduated.
That doesn't matter. That doesn't matter.
It's easy now making sound of my age. Lord, that was 2006. Oh my God, Amaya was literally a baby.
A baby.
Yeah, she was. I was carrying her in that pumpkin seat going to college.
Wow.
They were sending me home like, girl, go home with this newborn baby.
You just pushed her out.
Go home. Yeah, but I didn't care. I was like, I'm trying to get done. And guess what? I graduated December 2006 with a newborn baby.
See,
yeah,
drive. You can do it.
You can do it. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, if you don't feel like it's necessary, but you do need to get some type of trade.
Absolutely.
Right? So that's why, obviously, owning a trade school, I can tell you that I do understand that a lot of people, you know, go to trade schools and unfortunately still don't learn what they're supposed to. That's why I have transitioned and, you know, created MJ Nails Academy the way that I did, because I know people go to school and don't learn nothing. And I'm like, that's not fair. They spend all this time, all this money. They come out, they're like, well, I can pass state board maybe, and then that's it. Okay, well, what about your clientele? What about, like you just mentioned, about taxes as a business owner? Like, all these things.
Your LLC. Some people been in the industry, still don't even know how to get that.
Your EIN number, which is your business social security number. Like, all these things that is necessary in order for you to own and operate a business and not feel like, okay, I get out here, and I feel like that's why a lot of people end up giving up and saying,
they don't
forget
teach you
it.
that.
They're like, you know what? This is too much. I didn't realize it was, and there's a difference between knowing how to do nails and being a business owner. There are two totally, knowing how to do lashes and being a business owner. They're not the same thing.
Not at all.
They're completely, totally different veins, and they all take understanding, and you know what I'm saying, and actually like working, like whatever it is, like working hard at being a business owner, working hard at learning how to do lashes. But it also should be something like trade schools need to develop, where it's something that's taught. Don't like allow them to get out here, you
and
know,
then they know nothing.
They don't know anything. It's like, even if they decide to go work for someone else, they still need to know how that works, the process,
so they don't get screwed over, what their rights are, all of that. Like, it's very important.
It's very important. So
contracts.
I definitely agree. Contracts. Woo. What does it mean? Like, okay, are you in a good contract? Are you in a bad one? What makes it a bad one? Like, what makes it a good one? Like, all these different things that I feel like people just really don't know. If you don't know, never experienced it. You know what I'm saying? So,
because when I was 22, I worked at my very first lash job was like 21. And then I stopped working there. And then I worked at another salon. I went from commission to renting. And I'm lashing, and I'm like in the middle of the whole salon, and I'm lashing, and someone walks in and they're like, is Taylor here? And they're like, Taylor? Yeah, she's over there. And this guy's like, okay, here you go. He gives me a pack of papers, and he's like, I don't know, saying all these legal things. And I just look at him like, huh?
Sir, what?
He's like, in simpler forms, you just got served. I got sued at 22 for breaking my contract. And a 22-year-old, like, you don't understand. Like, what do you mean?
Breaking my contract. And I mean, I didn't want to be there no more.
I just didn't want to be there. And like, I think maybe I broke it. I signed a year, and I think I just needed to stay there one more week. So it's not like I just left. There was some issues, you know, she knew about it, but it got to a point where, okay, so I was a commission artist, and even though you're commission, you should still get like a W-2 or something, like showing you how much you worked, how much you got paid. If your clients are now tipping you, these clients tipped you, how much you made from those tips, all of those. So the math was a math thing. So I thought, let me just ask her, you know, like, hey, to me, because they were literally just like typing it up. I didn't have like an actual like pay stub. They literally were just typing it up. So to me, I'm like, it's not making sense. I had this many clients. Normally, if you have regulars, your clients tip you the same every time. Like, so it's like, okay, I kind of know what to expect. It wasn't making sense. So I asked her about it, and she told me that if I wanted a detailed summary, that was more work for her, so my commission was going to go down. That is not legal.
That's not
like,
how that works.
That's not legal. So things like that, I was like, oh, okay, like this is kind of weird. So I decided to leave. Like, I'm not going to stay here any longer.
Yeah.
So I left. Bottom of the story is I got sued at 22. My beauty school did not teach me. Most places aren't going to teach you about things like that, but these are things I didn't know what a contract was. So I'm just like, okay, like cool. Like, I have to sign this to work here. I'm not going to ask the questions. I'm not going to ask like what your no compete rules are. So I didn't know
to ask those things. Yeah.
So it turned out she didn't win because she sued a lot of us, and she was saying that we were stealing clients. The judge kind of looked at her and was like, you're not having these clients sign a contract. These clients are coming for the artist. They're not coming for the building. They're not coming for the name of the place. They're coming for the relationship that they built with that client, the artist. You can't keep them. You didn't make them sign. What? Crazy. So the judge kind of laughed in her face, and she also had a no compete within 30 miles of where she worked. And she had one on the north side and the east side. So I could only work in Casa Grande pretty much. And also the judge was like,
it doesn't work like that.
Arizona is an at will to work state. If this is the only way she's making money, that's not working. What? So it worked out great, but like, I had to get a lawyer. I had to do all these things at 22. So
the end result was we didn't know the contract.
I didn't know the contract. So
she would have known. She would have been asking these questions, and guess what? These are either not worked there or had her modify it.
Exactly. Okay, well, this doesn't make sense. So things like that are things that you need to know, and having a degree necessarily won't teach you that. Yeah. And even if you don't have a degree, that doesn't mean don't get education furthermore.
No.
I take trainings all the time. I've been in the game for 10 years, and I'm like, I'm trying to learn this. I'm trying to learn this. Okay, wispy styles, or let's do this.
Let me tell you something about Taylor that she probably ain't gonna admit about herself, honey. When I say she is the MVP of continuing education, baby, she don't play about it.
I don't play.
She don't play about being knowledgeable about the field that she's in, whatever she's about to start adding to her roster, anything. She's gonna get all the education. That's why I'm like, girl, you weren't good at school because they was telling you stuff that didn't have it didn't add up to what you wanted to do.
I don't even care about that.
But if I care, she's gonna get the education. Absolutely. She's gonna go hard in the paint when it comes to that. And I am super, 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 super proud of you and how hard you go for that, because it's very inspiring.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying? And definitely, if y'all want to emulate anybody in reference to like growth in business, this is it right here.
I'm like, ooh, thank you, friend.
This is it right here, because she don't play
both
about
of us.
She
both of us. Yeah.
She will be like, I'm going to a class.
I'm going to a class. Yeah.
Whenever she said, it's not even obviously when I first like met her, we started building a relationship.
Class?
I was like, girl, you said that last week. You know what I'm saying?
How many classes you going to?
But now I don't even question. She's like, I'm going to class. Well, okay, that sounds about right. Friends going to another class.
I feel like, that's what you got to do.
You do.
Times change.
Yes.
Products change.
Yes.
Everything changes. So if you are an artist and you feel like you're stuck and you don't want to pour into yourself, or, I don't have the money, save, do whatever you can to take a class, because even if you feel like, okay, I took this class and I didn't connect with that. I just feel like you get inspired. You get re-inspired. You're like, okay, I'm reignited to want to do X, Y, and Z. I think education is just, it keeps the passion alive. It keeps you inspired, even if you've been in the game 20, 30, 50 years. It doesn't matter. You're always like,
especially if you are trying to grow in your business, the growth is going to literally be stopped if you're not doing anything to okay, well, what about this? Or learning. I don't care if it's like ebooks or
anything,
you know what I'm saying, online.
A workshop, a couple hours.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't necessarily have to be, a class that you go and pay $1,000 for necessarily, but something to continuously educate yourself about the industry that you're in.
Absolutely.
So if it is that class, then that's fine. And of course, do research. You know what I'm saying?
Don't just look on pictures. And definitely been swindled. Yeah, like thinking, oh, I'm gonna learn so much from something, and I'm not really paying attention. And it's like, oh, I didn't know we're not gonna go over this, and this.
Yeah.
It's only this.
It's only this. Like they don't
pay
tell
attention,
you, because they want to sell the class, which I get, but it definitely means a lot to make sure. And again, it's the difference between knowing how to do something and teaching how to do something. They're not the same thing, because some people know how to do whatever it is, X, Y, Z, nails, lashes, whatever, hair. It doesn't matter. But teaching someone else how to do it and break it down because people learn differently, it's not the same thing. Yeah. Absolutely. So. Yeah, definitely very, very important. And I feel like, a lot of times people are being judged, you know what I'm saying, in this industry, just because they feel like, are they professional? Are they the best because they don't have this degree? You know what I'm saying? That's not true.
That's not true.
Yeah. It has nothing to do with that. Like, I feel like when we just said about researching, look at the results of what it is that they've done thus far. So whether it's through other people that have been a part of something that they've been a part of, their clients, you know what I'm saying? People will definitely give you the genuine feedback as far as their experience. You know what I'm saying? It's doesn't always have to come just from that person. So yeah, I feel like being a professional, we know plenty of women that are amazing, doing amazing things, and has nothing to do with their degree. You know what I'm saying? It has everything to do with their drive, their tenacity, you know what I'm saying? Like who they really are deep down in the core. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that's what matters more than anything else. Yeah. How genuine they are. Now, one of the last ones. This is like my favorite thing to talk about. Well, not even favorite thing to talk about, but because this is what I've battled all of my life. Okay. Women entrepreneurs being judged for not being professional enough. And like, oh my God, that makes me want to roll my eyes because I get it. You don't want to be messy, like we've said. You don't want to be messy. Yeah. You still want to hold yourself to a standard. Of course. You want to be your highest elevated self. Yeah. But at the end of the day, too, I hear people say like, envision who you want to be and you got to act like her. And I get that. That makes sense. But also, if I feel like I'm putting on a facade of something that I am not, I'm a girl I'm loud. I've always been loud all of my life. And now, people could look at that like, oh, her laugh is too loud. Oh, she talks too much. She talks too loud. But that's me. So now if I came into the next podcast and I'm like this. Yeah. They'd be like, girl, who is this? No one's going to connect with that. No. Like, I think there is a level of professionalism. Absolutely. But if I'm a girl who wants to have a drink with my friends and now I'm taking shots and now I'm, shaking booty and doing this, like, I may not do that every day. Or post it all online. We're not saying that, but it's at the same time. But every once in a while, even if I do, I'm grown. That's me. That's me. I'm grown. I'm grown. Real grown. As long as my man is okay with it. I was just about to say, I have a whole husband. As long as my husband ain't saying, babe, I don't like this, I don't like that. That's who I'm worried about. I'm not worried about. No, and I feel like professional, so there is a difference in reference to being, the opposite, right, is unprofessional. Unprofessional, right? Yeah. So being unprofessional in reference to showing about your personality and who you are and having a good time, I don't feel like that has anything to do with unprofessionalism. Yeah, I like how you said that. Unprofessionalism has everything to do with the fact of like how you're talking or treating people. Absolutely. It's unprofessional for me to like have a all-out war back and forth with somebody on social media, right? Crazy. That would be unprofessional. Yeah. Me posting about them. Me, you know what I'm saying? That's unprofessional. You know what I'm saying? Me maybe like, talking crazy or cussing somebody out. That's definitely unprofessional. Yeah. But me showing up myself and having a good time, and that has nothing to do with unprofessionalism. That has everything to do with you have to see the person behind whatever it is we do. Yeah. Like my actual real personality. I'm not dry. Sorry. It's not that's never gonna be her. Yeah, never gonna be her. No. And that doesn't mean that I'm not professional. It's just that's who I am. Exactly. Like I'm more like, you know what I'm saying, like you say, a people person. Like I like having fun with people. I like, you know what I'm saying, that like connection. Yeah, the good time. And I feel like that's why my students have such an amazing time when they're at the school, because they know we're gonna have a good time. Yes, you're gonna learn. Yes, you know what I'm saying, we're gonna do nails, all of those things, but we're also gonna have fun. The good times, yeah. They have to. Like we have to laugh. Life is hard. Yes. Like people have rough days every day. So nobody's feeling like a robot all day long. And nobody's doing that. I think that's why like people just love to judge. That's just what it is. And I've done it, like it happens. We're human, but at the end of the day, like
who doesn't also like to have a good time?
Yes.
Who doesn't also want to just have so much fun? You're laughing so loud and just like living your life. Who doesn't want
hair down.
Let your hair down.
Your bald head
Hey,
out.
let
Whatever
it
is.
shake that head.
Like whatever it is, let it out. Just be you.
And and I think people judging, but also that's how you get the people that are like, oh, I love her because she shows up as like, hey, you want to go ahead and smoke? Okay, go ahead and smoke as long as you're taking care of your things. Like, I feel like people act like, you know, their stuff don't stink, and it once you really find out who they are, it's like, okay, you're judging this person for X, Y, and Z, but the skeletons in your closet are just as scary.
Just as scary, if not scarier.
So,
baby, you can't throw, you know what I'm saying, rocks. You ain't in no glass house. So trust and believe, because somebody can throw them right back at you.
And that's the thing. If you own your shit and you're not like putting on this facade, no one can embarrass me with what I already put out there.
Nobody can embarrass me. That's a good point, friend. I swear.
I've already posted it. I've already said it. Taylor said that. Yes, I did say that. And this is why I said that. You know, like, you can't really embarrass somebody who already just is genuine, you know? But if you act like you're not who you are, then that's when that mask starts slipping and we're like, oh, okay, that's a little different.
That's not who you said you were. Yeah, and I feel like that you're right. That 100% makes sense. How can you embarrass me? How can you make me feel away? Like, you know what I'm saying? How can you, or even on a spiritual aspect, how can you convict me or my spirit if God is not? He's the only person that can convict me.
He already knows who I am.
He already knows who I am. He made me.
This
you know what I'm saying? I tell people outside, like, I'm saved, but I ain't saved from everything. There's some things that I still do. Maybe that, you know, I'm not going to be perfect. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And my relationship and walk with God has nothing to do with nobody else. It's just what it is.
That's just what it is.
So, you know, I feel that, you know, we need to spend more time focusing on ourselves and what we got going on. Drink our own water and Kool-Aid and stop worrying about everybody else.
Stop worrying about it.
Because guess how much growth you're going to see in your own business, in your own life, if you worry about you.
Put that same energy.
Because that's why I don't have time to be worried about nobody else or judging nobody else or like looking at nobody else like, oh, they did this and they shouldn't have did this. Like, I don't even have the time or energy to do that because I'm so focused on what I have
She's
going
busy.
on. I'm busy.
Booked and busy, baby.
Yes. When you're booked and busy, I promise you'll have there's so much less time to be worried about other people, and you're not even going to care. And I feel like people that have spent all that time and energy judging and all that usually don't have nothing going on. Get you some business.
Clock it.
I say the business that pays you. Pay attention to that. The business that pays you.
That's just that on that.
That's that on that. And I still love y'all.
I still love y'all.
And guess what? We probably ain't talking to nobody that's listening. All the people that's listening, I feel like are supporters of us. They're like, girl, I didn't even judge you. Nobody's in me. Sorry, we ain't even talking to y'all.
Yeah.
We just talking about people.
In general 10
statement.
years.
And guess what? We might be talking to you in reference to somebody that's talking about you. They might be judging you, but we not talking to y'all. We know y'all love us.
We love you.
Because we love y'all too.
Yeah.
So, where are we at? Are we done?
I think that's it.
That's it. It's already
yapping. Yeah. That's what happens when you just yapping with your girlfriend.
Yappity yap. Having a good time. You know what I'm saying, with my girl.
So if you've made it this far, thank you so much for listening to us again. We are going to continue. So keep liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing. Hit that notification bell so you get the notifications that we posted again. And just remember, like us talking about the Delulu, you guys, even if we have 30 followers and we stay with that, like that is enough Delulu to keep us going. So I just want to say thank you.
Thank you guys.
It means a lot.
It does. It definitely does. And we also are going to be dropping a link for you guys to take one of our self-care quizzes, so that way we all stay in the now, because I feel like it's different when we talk about self-care, we talk about what we should do, we talk about our plans, but it's another thing, like I was talking about earlier, about writing it down. So we're going to have that in the link below, you know what I'm saying, where you can take a little self-care quiz, making sure that you are including doing the things.
And if you're not, pick it up.
So try it, so you can be or stay that girl, whichever it is that you're trying to do. So yeah, definitely appreciate you guys so much, and we so look forward to the next episode. again, comment if you have anything that you would like to add regarding, you know what I'm saying, our next topics. We can add it in. Anybody maybe that you would like to have us on. Would you like to be on?
Would you want to be on?
Would you want to be
on? See yap with us.
The Beauty of Balance. Let us know.
Let us know.
Super excited. You know what I'm saying? We will definitely tune in a couple of weeks with you guys on the next podcast.
And
this is MJ.
And I'm Tay. And we out.
The Beauty of Balance. We out.
So cute.